All right, hey, it is time at last for this week's good advice. I appreciate you tuning in, opening your email today, and seeing my bright, smiling face as you think about how to do business better and hopefully to have a valuable, productive week ahead of you. It's been a while, right? It's been a while. I sent out an email in December basically being like, I'm going to be better about sending these out. And I wasn't. All that to say, Good Advice has been extremely busy in a good way, a lot of great business. And the podcasts are publishing 2 or 3 times a week, and naturally things just start to fall by the wayside. So all that to say, this week's good advice, there's a lot happening in the world today, from layoffs in the tech industry, which, by the way, is always a great reminder to have a side hustle ready. You never know when your employer might lay you off. And even when your business is doing really well, that's still a possibility. For example, Google just this last year had record-breaking profits, and they just announced this past week that they are laying off thousands of workers. So just because the business is doing well doesn't mean your job is secure, and that's why it's always good to have a side hustle. Not to create any doom and gloom for you today on this Monday morning, but today's good advice, I want to talk about sales, and I'm going to put together maybe a podcast episode on this at some point this week. But the bottom line is you want to, when it comes to sales, you want to talk to the right people, which sounds a little obvious, right? But what I have learned is that many times people are actually not as bad at sales as they maybe think they are. They're just talking to the wrong person. For example, for me, I might be talking to someone about the value of podcasting. Well, if that person hates podcasts, it doesn't matter what I say or how compelling I am, or frankly, how great of a salesperson I am, that person does not like podcasts. In the same way, if your business involves talking to people who don't like your business, you're not bad at sales, you're just talking to the wrong people. I was on a call this last week. I closed this amazing contract with this great business. And as we were talking through this work we were going to do together, the CEO who I was speaking with, he said, "Blake, you're saying all the right things." And I had this kind of internal moment of like, wow, I wasn't even really thinking about what I was saying. I was just talking. Like, we were just chatting about this area that this business was thinking about. And I wasn't really even thinking about it. My takeaway from that conversation is when you're talking to the right people, when you're talking to someone who's in line with you, who have similar values, sales becomes pretty easy. So what that means on the front end then is really knowing who your customer is. I've told story after story of people where I ask the question, who's your customer? And they say, people who use the internet, or, my perfect customer is someone you know. And it's like, okay, well, 6 billion people use the internet, and I know a lot of people. I mean, it could be a great customer or not a great customer. You want to spend time getting as critically specific on who your customer is, what they stand for, what they care about, and that will make your sales process easier. More to talk about on the podcast this week. Thank you again for opening up your email inbox. You certainly get numerous emails any given day, any given week, and I appreciate you opening mine. That's today's good advice, and we'll catch you next week. See ya.